Hello, or should I say, hola. Welcome back to the boy with a slight lisp who throws more facts into your cranium than an episode of The Cosmos. That's right, it's 90+1 facts, and this week we've soused our way into the new camp, shimmied into Messi's bed, and are about to read him a book of 91 facts about his beloved club, FC Barcelona. 1. Football Club Barcelona was founded in 1899, making it 1 year older than their city rivals, Espanyol. 2. Barca's founder surprisingly wasn't actually Catalan or even Spanish. It was a Swiss businessman called Hans Gamper. Gamper found FC Zurich and had played for Basel, whose strip is thought to be the inspiration for Barca's famous kit. 3. Hans is apparently difficult for the Spanish to pronounce, so he opted to go by Juan whilst in Spain. He put an ad in the local paper saying he wanted to start a football club, and conveniently enough, exactly 11 men turned up to play ball. 4. Barca's team was a mix of Catalans, Swiss and Englishmen. In 1902, Barca won their first ever trophy, the Copa Mackaya. They also played in the first ever Copa del Rey final, losing 2-1 to Vizcaya. 5. By 2015, 958 different footballers had played for the Catalonian side. Unfortunately, that number includes Dimitro Chigrinsky, Alex Song and Thomas Vermaelen. 6. Xavi Hernandez has made the most appearances for the Blaugranas, with 767 games. That's 69,030 minutes, which is equivalent to 47.9 days. Which also happens to be the same amount of time it takes for me to drag myself out of bed on a Monday morning and stand on the tube next to some sweaty man in a suit who's coughing in my general direction. 7. Xavi is also Barca's most decorated player, with 8 La Liga titles and 4 Champions Leagues amongst his 25 pieces of silverware. If he wanted to hold all his club trophies at once, his arms would snap in half because that's too much and a silly hypothetical. 8. Who do you reckon Barca's top scorer is? Surprise, surprise, it's Leonel Messi, who has 498 goals in 576 games. 9. The diminutive Argentine is also the only non-Spaniard to rank in Barca's top 10 appearance makers. However, he doesn't actually have the best goals to games ratio amongst Barcelona players. That honour belongs to Paulinho Alcantara, the Filipino forward who scored 369 times in just 357 games for the club between 1912 and 1927. 10. Paulinho is also the youngest ever player to feature for Barcelona, at just 15 years and 4 months. He ended up appearing for Spain, and in a match against France, he hit a shot so hard it broke the net. Instead of repairing the net, he went on to repair people by becoming a doctor after he retired. 11. Barcelona fans are arses. Bear with me here for a second. Fans of the club are known as culés, which comes from the word cul, meaning arse. That's because at Barca's first stadium, the Camp de la Industria, the fans would hang over the benches of the stand, which meant from beneath, it was just rows and rows of arses. 12. Today, Barca play at the 99,000 capacity Camp Nou, the largest football stadium in Europe and the 3rd largest in the world. However, back in 1909, the Camp de la Industria held only 6,000 Barcelona arses. 13. The only stadiums bigger than the Camp Nou are the Bukit Halil National Stadium in Malaysia and the Runggrado Mayday Stadium in the lovely land of North Korea, where everything this man says is completely true and there's no chance that all these people were forced to turn up. I wonder what food they're serving at half time. Probably nothing. 14. However, the Camp Nou can only hold 0.9% of all the Barca fans in Spain, with a quarter of the country's population supposedly fans of Messi and friends. 15. Barcelona have won the Liga 24 times since the division was founded back in 1928. However, arch-rivals Real Madrid have been crowned champions of Spain 32 times. Together, the clubs have won the La Liga 56 times, which is 27 more times than all the other clubs in Spain combined. 16. Shout the word relegation at a Barca, Real Madrid or Atletico Bilbao fan and they'll respond with a confused look, not only because you've just shouted an English word directly into their face, but because all 3 teams have never ever been relegated. 17. Barca's closest flirtation with relegation was in 1941-42, when there was only 14 clubs in the league and Barca finished 12th, 2 points off relegation. It wasn't all doom and gloom. Well, I mean, it was World War II, so it probably wasn't much of a laugh. But Barca did win the Copa del Rey that year, one of their 28 times lifting the trophy. 18. Barcelona players have won the Ballon d'Or 11 times, more than any other club. Their winners are Luis Suarez, not that one, Johan Cruyff, Hristo Stoichkov, Rivaldo, Ronaldinho, and of course, little Leo Messi. 19. The rivalry with Real Madrid has made Barcelona a symbol of Catalan identity, with Los Blancos long seen as the club of the establishment. 20. In 1936, the Spanish Civil War decided to be a thing that was happening, and many of the club's fans and players joined the fight against the fascists. Club president Josep Sunyol, a prominent advocate of Catalan independence, was actually murdered by supporters of dictator General Franco. 21. Franco won that depressing encounter, and during his rule, the Catalan language was banned and Barca were forced to remove the flag from their club crest. The only safe haven left where you could openly speak in Catalan was the Camp de la Corts, Barca's ground at the time. 22. The fight against oppression from a bigger state has resonated with people across the globe, especially in Palestine. Thousands of Palestinians tune into El Clasico every year, with one telling the BBC that we can identify with the Catalans and their struggle against the great power of Madrid, just like the way we struggle against Israel. 23. Barcelona are famous for their youth academy, La Masia. It was created in 1979 at the suggestion of club legend Johan Cruyff, who thought Barca needed its own version of Ajax's youth system. 24. Over the next 3 decades, more than 400 youngsters made it through the academy, with half of them from Catalonia. Over 40 ended up making the first team, including Messi, Iniesta, Busquets, and Xavi. 25. I graduated from the slightly worse university in Southampton, and I've got no goals in no appearances for Barcelona. That's purely because I'm third choice goalkeeper, okay? But in the 2011-12 season, graduates of La Masia scored 150 of Barcelona's 190 goals in all competitions. Impressive. 26. When Louis van Gaal coached the team back in 2000, he was mocked by the press after saying his dream was for the club to win the Champions League with a starting 11 entirely made up of La Masia graduates. In 2009, Barca won the competition with 7 homegrown players starting the final and another 3 on the bench, alongside manager Pep Guardiola, who also came through La Masia. 27. The bold fraud is Barca's most successful manager ever, with 14 trophies in the 4 years he coached the team, including an unprecedented 6 in just 1 year back in 2009. 28. Pep has spent 9 seasons as a head coach at Barca B, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and Manchester City. He's finished first in 7 out of 9 of those seasons, only failing to win the title in 2012 with Barcelona and in 2017 with Manchester City. 29. However, Pep doesn't actually have the best win ratio among Barcelona managers. The glossy-headed man won 72% of his games with Blaugrana boss, while Luis Enrique has 75.3%. The best record, though, belongs to the late Tito Vilanova, who won a huge 75.6% of his matches in charge. 30. Big stars cost a lot. Okay, maybe not that one, but these ones do. Messi, Neymar and Suarez's combined wages total £47 million. 31. Suarez is the club's record signing, costing Luis Enrique $75 million when he joined the club back in 2014. At the time of writing, he scored 121 goals in 147 games, meaning each goal has cost the club around £619,000. 32. The starving Uruguayan is actually the second Luis Suarez to play for Barcelona. The first played for Barca in the 1950s, winning 2 titles, 2 Copa del Reys, and the Ballon d'Or under legendary manager Helenio Herrera. 33. Suarez's last game for the team was the 1961 European Cup final, which the Blaugrana lost 3-2 to Benfica. Suarez ended up following Herrera to Inter Milan, becoming the world's most expensive player as the Nerazzurri paid £142,000 for him. He won the league another 3 times and lifted the European Cup twice. 34. Barcelona have won 5 European Cups/Champions Leagues, giving them the 3rd best record in the competition alongside Liverpool and Bayern Munich. The only team with more wins are Milan on 7, as well as those pesky Los Blancos Real Madrid on 12. 35. Barca and Real have played each other 266 times, with Barcelona winning 110 games to Real's 97. However, that number includes friendlies, and in competitive matches, Real lead the way, boasting 93 victories to the Catalans' 91. 36. The biggest ever win in El Clasico was an 11-1 Real Madrid victory back in 1943 in the second leg of the Copa del Rey semi-final. Barca had won the first leg 3-0, but their fans were banned from attending the second leg in Madrid. 37. The Barca players were pelted with bottles when they disembarked from the team bus in Madrid. Striker Marian Gonzalvo said that by the time the game started, the penalty area was full of coins which had been thrown at keeper Luis Miro, who responded by throwing stones right back at the Madrid supporters. 38. Some people claim that the police threatened Barcelona players, instructing them to throw the game. What we know for sure is that when the team considered giving up and going home at half-time, with the score at 8-0, the Director of State Security informed them, in what I'm sure was a polite manner, to go finish the game or go to jail. 39. Quick handbrake turn on the direction of these facts now, and we head off in the direction of the Barcelona crest. In 1910, the club had a competition to design a new badge for their kits, and the winner was Carles Comamala, who, funnily enough, played for Barcelona at the time. Rigged. 40. Comamala's design featured the red and yellow stripes of the Catalan flag, as well as what looks like the English flag. That's because the Cross of St. George is also part of the city's coat of arms. 41. Over the years, other clubs have borrowed elements of the crest for themselves, but in the same way Mark Wahlberg borrowed all that gold in the Italian Job. Forest Green Rovers, a non-league English side, used to use this design, while Uzbek side Bunyodkor rock this original design. 42. Bunyodkor's nickname is apparently the Asian Barcelona, and their most famous former player is Rivaldo, who won 2 titles and the Ballon d'Or with the real Barcelona before testing his talents against the world's finest in the Uzbek League. 43. Barca aren't above a few dirty tricks themselves. Back in 2003, the Blaugrana were to host Sevilla on a Wednesday, but with the international break coming up, several of their stars were due to leave before the match to join up with their countries. Barca asked Sevilla if they could play a day earlier, but the Andalusians refused, hoping to face a weakened side at the Camp Nou. 44. Back then, club presidents had the right to pick a kickoff time, so Barca Supremo Juan Laporta scheduled the match to start at 12:05 AM on the Wednesday morning, before the players left for their national teams. 45. To guarantee a big crowd, Laporta laid on music, stand-up comedy and food at the stadium, providing 100,000 Kit Kat, 30,000 bottles of Actimel yogurt and 25,000 bags of Doritos for free. And it worked. Free Doritos, of course it bloody worked, as 80,000 supporters showed up. 46. Those 80,000 were lucky enough to see Ronaldinho's first competitive goal for the club, with the Brazilian racing through midfield and smashing a 30-yard screamer in off the underside of the bar. The ball hit the net at about 1:20 in the morning, though Barca could only manage a 1-1 draw. 47. From one South American magician to another, we return to Leonel Messi. In addition to his absolutely bonkers goal-scoring record, Messi has provided 192 assists for his Barcelona teammates. 48. When Messi smashed in his 301st La Liga goal back in February 2016, he had scored 4.39% of all of Barcelona's goals since the club was founded in 1899. 49. Despite all this tiny Argentine's goal-scoring insanity, the man has only received La Liga's Player of the Month award once. Neymar and Suarez are level with 1 apiece, whereas Carlos Vela has 2. Figure that one out. 50. Barcelona compete for absolutely everything they're in. So much so that they have a pop at trying to win pretty much anything possible in pretty much every single sport. The Blaugranas have teams competing in women's football, beach soccer, volleyball, futsal, rugby union and rugby league, handball, roller hockey, ice hockey, basketball and wheelchair basketball. 51. Perhaps one of the most famous songs in world football is a tune sung by fans before home games called El Cant del Barça. 52. The song was introduced in 1974, with a choir of 3,600 singing it before an exhibition game against the East Germany national team. In the 2008-09 season, the full lyrics were printed on the inside of the shirt. 53. People like myself, who are convinced that there has been an absolute injustice if something goes against my team, often claim that Barcelona get favourable treatment from referees. In 2017, a study by Goal and Opta revealed that over the last 5 seasons in La Liga, Barcelona Barcelona have been awarded 47 penalties and given away just 13, giving them a penalty difference of plus 34. This is the most in La Liga, with Real Madrid on plus 22 and Atletico Madrid on plus 21. 54. Real fans can counter Barca's boast of most penalties with the fact that Real are beating them to the title of world's most valuable football club. Madrid are worth $3.6.5 billion, and Barcelona are worth a pathetic $3.5.5 billion. $3.5.5 billion? I wouldn't even get out of bed for that. That's nothing. Add another couple noughts and then we'll talk, mate. 55. That eye-watering income allows Barca to keep ticket prices low for members. In 2016-17, the most expensive season ticket on offer at the Camp Nou was just €1,097. That's around €100 less than the cheapest ticket at Arsenal. You can go watch the incredible South American trio perform magic on the pitch, or pay more to watch this man refuse to just f*** off whilst he can't do the zip-up on the world's longest coat ever seen. Oh, and deal with this lot. 56. The cheapest season ticket to see MSN play live comes in at just €132. Cheaper than it would cost you to buy a PlayStation 4 and a copy of FIFA. Although, that doesn't factor in the cost of the binoculars you'll need, as you'll be sitting right at the back. 57. The most I've ever spent on a ticket is £50, and that cut me deep, both emotionally and physically. However, the most expensive ticket ever purchased was to attend a Barcelona game. In 2015, a fan from Hungary forked out €12,269 to attend the Champions League final between Barca and Juventus. I hope he wasn't a Juventus fan, because Barcelona won 3-1. 58. As well as giving their fans a good deal, the Catalans historically refused to put a corporate sponsor on the front of the team shirt, instead giving the space to UNICEF between 2006 and 2011. 59. That deal saw Barca donate €1.5 million a year to the charity, which provides food and aid to children and families in the developing world. But when the contract was up, then club president Sandro Rosell gave in and agreed to a €150 million sponsorship with Qatar Airways. 60. The Blaugrana recently brokered a new deal with Japanese firm Rakuten, who will pay them an incredible €220 million to have their logo on the famous red and blue stripes for the next 4 seasons. The shirt sleeves will bear the name of Beko, a Turkish electronics company, while American technology giant Intel will be featured on the inside of the shirt, which takes Intel Inside extremely literally. Clever one, I like that. Fair play. 61. Despite not even having the name on their shirt yet, Barca have already come under fire for their relationship with Rakuten, after it was revealed by environmental activists that the company's online marketplace sells ivory and whale meat. 62. My most famous fan is my Dyson one with a hole in the middle, but Barcelona have a much more impressive list, including Kobe Bryant, Javier Bardem, Bollywood superstar Ranbir Kapoor, as well as the singer Shakira, who is actually married to me. Or maybe she's actually married to Gerard Piqué, the La Masia graduate and the first team regular. But so what? What does he have that I don't? Apart from the money, the good looks, he's probably quite a nice bloke too. I mean, I'm admittedly a bit of a moron. But apart from that, what else? Eh? What else, Shakira? My hits don't lie. 63. The love of my life, Shakira, was originally a Real Madrid fan, even receiving a Zidane shirt from club president Florentino Perez. She did the unthinkable and crossed the divide when she met Piqué, and now her music is banned from the Bernabeu. I think someone's little icky heart was broken. I feel your pain, brother. 64. Speaking of bans, Barca were not allowed to make any transfers during 2015 due to breaching FIFA rules on signing players under 18 years old. That didn't exactly seem to be a problem, as they still won the treble that year, and when the ban was lifted in January 2016, they immediately registered 77 players, including Arda Turan and Alex Vidal. 65. The last time Barca failed to reach at least the quarter-finals of the Champions League was in the 2006-2007 season. Since then, they've reached the final 3 times, winning on each occasion. 66. In 2017, they reached the quarter-finals in dramatic fashion. After losing the first leg of their second-round tie against PSG 4-0, the Catalans had it all to do with no side ever having overturned a 4-goal deficit in the second leg of a European Cup game. France did what France do best and surrendered, with Barcelona winning 6-1. 67. While 7 European teams have won a treble, consisting of a domestic cup, the League, and the Champions League, Barcelona are the only team on the continent to have accomplished the feat twice, in 2009 and in 2015. 68. Two clubs outside Europe can match that achievement. Egypt's Al Ahly, who won back-to-back trebles in 2006 and 2007, and New Zealand's Auckland City, who have actually managed it 3 times, in 2006, 2014 and 2015. 69. Sextuple. No, this isn't the name of a depraved act involving 6 people, but the word some people use to describe Barcelona's 6th trophy haul in 2009. However, this incredible accomplishment actually took place over 2 separate campaigns. Valletta, a Maltese side, Arsenal Ladies and Linfield from Northern Ireland are the only 3 sides to have won 6 tournaments or more in one season. 70. That 2015 Barca treble saw Leonel Messi, Neymar and Luis Suarez banging 122 goals in all competitions. The best return for 3 players from the same club in the history of Spanish football. The next year, they scored 131. Easy, mate. 71. MSN bagged 90 goals in the league alone in 2015-16. More than 18 goals of the other 19 La Liga teams managed to score that year, and 10 more than Bayern Munich racked up as they won the Bundesliga. 72. Since Pep Guardiola became Barca manager in 2008, the club have only lost 27 league games in 8 seasons, a rate of just over 3 per year. 73. In the 2009-10 season, they lost just once in the league, tying Real Madrid's 1989 team for fewest losses in a 38-game season. No team has gone unbeaten in La Liga since the division was expanded to 20 teams. 74. Barca hold a record for the largest away win in Spanish football, if you disregard the slightly dodgy result, winning 8-0 against Las Palmas back in 1959. They've won by that scoreline another 3 times since 2010. 75. The records keep on coming, but the Cures will want to scratch this one out of the history books, as they were on the end of a 12-1 drubbing at Athletic Bilbao in 1930. 76. I once played a 5-a-side match where 3 people got sent off from one team, which definitely affected the competitiveness of the fixture, but Barcelona managed a similar feat in the 2003 Catalan derby. Both Barcelona and Espanyol got 3 players sent off each, with Ivan de la Peña, Tony Soldevilla and Alberto Lopo being dismissed for Espanyol, while Rafa Marquez, Ricardo Quaresma and Philip Cocu got their marching orders for Barca. 77. You'd gamble your life savings on Messi being Barca's most prolific goalscorer, but if you've gone all in red, then I'm afraid to say that you've lost your car, house, wife and maybe even your dog. That's because the one man who's had a more prolific season than Lionel Messi is Mariano Martin. In 1943, Mariano scored 42 goals in 31 league matches, giving him a ratio of 1.355 goals per game. By comparison, Messi's best year saw him bag 73 in 60 games, just 1.217 per game. Embarrassing, mate. Try harder next time. Rubbish. 78. Do you want to gamble whatever you have left on Messi being the player to have scored the most goals in a single game for Barcelona? I wouldn't, and that's because apparently club founder Juan Gamper bagged 9 in a game 3 times, whereas Messi only scored 5 against Leverkusen in 2012. 79. Back in primary school, I once scored from a goal kick, which is the highlight of my life, apart from when me and Shakira got married. But Barca have also had a keeper who has scored for them. Back in 1919, Ricardo Zamora bagged a penalty and the Catalan Championship. The award for the best keeper in La Liga is named after Zamora, though the keeper also turned out for arch-rivals Espanyol and Real Madrid during his career, as well as popularising this questionable look. 80. The record for the most La Liga appearances of all time is held by former Barcelona keeper and director of football Andoni Zubizarreta, who played 622 times in the league, with 300 of those games coming for the Blaugrana. He kept a historic high of 233 clean sheets. 81. There have been 55 different Barca managers. 24 of those have been Spanish, while English is the next best represented nationality, with 8 Blaugrana coaches. 82. The longest serving Barcelona boss is Englishman Jack Greenwell, who spent 9 years in charge of the club over 2 spells, his second ending in 1933. 83. It's getting near the end of our incredible fact adventure and I'm starting to get extremely hungry. And by that I mean Barca have been managed by 3 different Hungarians on 5 different occasions, while the legendary Zoltán Szybor and Sandor Kocsis won 2 league titles in Catalonia. 84. My belly is still rumbling as Hungary's Lazio Kubala played for the club and managed it twice. He scored 194 goals in 256 games and was voted Barca's greatest ever player in 1999. 85. As a player, Kubala starred at the 1960-61 European Cup, as Barcelona became the first side in the competition to beat Real Madrid. Los Blancos had won the first 5 European Cups, but the Blaugrana beat them 4-3 on aggregate and reached the final, where they lost to Benfica. 86. Kubala's move to Spain from Eastern Europe was seen as a great victory for the West over the Soviets, and a film was made about the transfer, with Kubala and Barcelona chief scout Josep Samitier playing themselves. 87. Samitier was a superb player for Barcelona himself, scoring 334 goals in just 454 games. He was suspected of working as an inside man for Real Madrid when Alfredo Di Stefano joined Los Blancos over Barca in 1953. He then went to work for Real Madrid, which I don't know about you, but just screams guilty. However, Samitier was a complicated man, having a close friendship with dictator General Franco. But when he died in 1972, the city of Barcelona came to a standstill for his funeral. 88. Barca have a proud record of honouring their club heroes. When Johan Cruyff died in 2016, all 8 living former club presidents attended the next Clásico. The words "Thank you, Johan" in Catalan were sewn onto the Barca players' kits, and 90,000 culés in the stands held cars aloft, forming a mosaic with the same message. 89. The Blaugrana still try to remain a close family, with club membership no longer available to the public. Since 2010, only relatives of existing and former club members are able to obtain membership themselves. So good thing that Piqué and Shakira keep having kids. 90. That focus on family and the community has given rise to the team motto Més que un club, which means more than a club, which explains why their fans are so fiercely passionate. 91. We have reached injury time once again for our 91st Barcelona fact of the day. Our main man Messi here is the all-time top scorer in El Clásico, netting an impressive 23 goals in the feisty fixture. The last of those goals was in the 92nd minute back in April 2017, with Messi sending Barcelona top. Although Real Madrid actually went on to win La Liga anyway. And there you have it, 91 facts about Barcelona. If you enjoyed what you saw with your eyeballs and heard with your ear holes, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more 90+1 facts.